What's going on, y'all? Mar the Cross 316 back with another comic book flashback. Today we are looking at the Amazing Spider-Man annual number 4. This annual came out in November of 1967, and today we see Spider-Man teaming up with the Human Torch, and this is really the very first solo team up that we see with Spider-Man and the Human Torch. They'll be going up against two supervillains in this issue today. We don't know who these supervillains could be, but we'll find out here very shortly. As always, this is brought to you by Stan the Man Lee. We have Mickey DeMeo on the inking. We have Jerry Fieldman doing the lettering. And then we also have a mystery artist. And the issue never really tells who the artist is, but I would think it is probably John Romita, but I'm not too sure on it. You can probably look it up for yourself. But either way, this is a really good drawn issue. So we start out the issue here. We have Spider-Man. He's swinging through town. All of a sudden, he sees the Human Torch blazing through this armored car. He looks like he's just running amok. Citizens are panicking, and Spider-Man is also very concerned about this, as he knows that the Human Torch, if he lets loose with his power, he could be very dangerous. The Human Torch is telling Spider-Man to get out of his way, and we seem to see a fight on our hands here with Spider-Man and the Human Torch. Spider-Man uses a fire hydrant to finally extinguish the Human Torch's flame here. And so now we're going to get to the bottom line of what the heck is going on. All of a sudden we see this director here. He is Mr. Bellini. He has been directing this movie, and the Human Torch is in this movie. Spider-Man has ruined this movie. He didn't suspect that the Human Torch was actually being filmed on camera. So that has played into a big, deal here. So now Spider-Man has made a fool of himself, and J. Jonah Jameson is using the pictures and from this basically showing how he's made a fool of himself. But as all of this is going on, and this has been printed in the Daily Bugle, there is a mystery villain here. He's the first guy to be revealed here, and he notices that the Human Torch and the Web Slinger went at it. And so that's very interesting here, and he's going to try to set them up for something very dangerous. So we see the next day that there's a news report that Spider-Man and the Human Torch are wanted in Hollywood to be filmed in Hollywood for a movie. Both of them are going to be filmed in a movie. So Peter Parker is like, that's a great chance for me to get paid a Hollywood salary. Just wait till Aunt May sees all the money I have in my fist, and I can just show it to her. So Peter Parker takes up the deal. He's going to Hollywood. He uses all of his, expenses here. It's very expensive to get a plane ride. And so he goes all the way to Hollywood here. And so this is where the main action is going to take place here, where Spider-Man and the Human Torch will be teaming up together. Here's our two villains here. We still don't know who they are, but we will soon find out who the Human Torch and Spider-Man will be going up against here. So the Human Torch and Spider-Man finally meet together. And one thing to recognize here is that from the very beginning, Spider-Man and the Human Torch have never ever gotten along. If you read some early Strange Tales issues, you could see that Spider-Man and the Human Torch never got along. Even as we see in some Fantastic Four issues that Spider-Man appears in, the Human Torch and Spider-Man have never gotten along. So they read the script, Spider-Man and the Human Torch. They're going to look at what they have to do. We got the film starting here. It's going to be an alien movie, and Spider-Man seems to be going along with the film, and things seem to go exactly according to plan here. And so Spider-Man's spider sense here starts to tingle, and he's like, what is going on here? I don't understand. Everything seems to be normal. But all of a sudden, we see the Human Torch out of nowhere is starting to attack Spider-Man out of nowhere, just randomly. And he seems to be in a daze, like he's not thinking, and he just crashes into stuff. Spider-Man uses this, it looks like a magnifying mirror here, and the Human Torch just flies right through it. And so Spider-Man tries to chase the Human Torch here, and he thinks that the Human Torch has gone into this room here. But we come to find out that the Human Torch has been in this room the entire time. He's been in this little trailer here. So what exactly is going on? Well, we come to find out that one of our villains is Mysterio. He is known for his iconic filmmaking. He was a producer. He's good with extra effects. And the other villain that we have in this issue is the Wizard. So the Wizard and Mysterio are teaming up together to take down Spider-Man and the Human Torch. Come to find out that that guy in the hat and reading the newspaper was the Wizard, and that he had enough money to set up an actual studio on the coast of California in Hollywood, and he wanted to partner up with Mysterio. So the Wizard tells Mysterio all about his plans here, and they both disagree with each other. They want to be the leader, but they come to a truce that they're going to be partners, and they're going to work together to take down Spider-Man and the Human Torch for once and for all, since they have a hatred for them and they're the arch enemies of both of these superheroes. So we have the Human Torch and Spider-Man. They're very confused here. Both of them are battling it out. This is exactly what Mysterio and the Wizard wanted. So it seems just mayhem is continuing to come here. And so Spider-Man and the Human Torch continue to fight here. All of a sudden, the Wizard makes one fatal mistake. He gets his hand and he uses this lever here, and this lever is going to cause Spider-Man to notice something amuck here as this beam starts to go down. And so now Mysterio's like, "You fool, it looks like they've already caught on to us." So now the time for secrecy is over. So now the Wizard and Mysterio are going to try their best to trap the Human Torch and Spider-Man in this cage here with gas. Spider-Man and the Human Torch are suffocating with the gas when Spider-Man quickly realizes he needs to use his webbing to get the nozzles blocked here so the Human Torch could flame on and break through the cage. So that's one trap that has been pretty much defeated here. So now the Wizard and Mysterio are panicking here, and now Spider-Man uses his spider sense to locate their mystery villains here, so they're soon going to find out who they're going up against. We have Mysterio. He's going to use his plan A to escape. So Spider-Man and the Human Torch realize who they're going up against, which is Mysterio and the Wizard, but they are holograms. So once again, like I said, Mysterio is known for his special effects. So now the Wizard and Mysterio are going to try to get away here. Spider-Man and the Human Torch blast a hole through the roof, and so it looks like Mysterio and the Wizard are trying to get away from them with this jet. So now Spider-Man and the Human Torch are after them. So we see right here that they're going to go through this forest here, this man-made forest that Hollywood uses. And as we see right here, Spider-Man and the Human Torch are now going to go up against their second thing here, and that is a mechanical gorilla. And so this giant gorilla that is being controlled by the Wizard and Mysterio here, and it looks like this gorilla is also fireproof. So this is bad for the Human Torch. This gorilla swats the Human Torch and grabs a hold of the Human Torch. Spider-Man locates the control center of the gorilla, smashes it, but the gorilla is still being controlled by the Wizard and Mysterio here. And so Spider-Man has to get the grip off of this gorilla to let the Human Torch survive. So he pretty much allows the gorilla's hand, his grip, to be unfolded here so the Human Torch can regain consciousness. Spider-Man uses his web cartridges here, and they're now going to go after the Wizard and Mysterio to locate them. The Wizard notices that they have more lives than cats. So now the Human Torch and Spider-Man are finally going to locate where their arch enemies are at. So they go through this secret cave, the secret entrance to surprise Mysterio and the Wizard. But the Wizard and Mysterio are not fools. They know that their arch enemies are right behind them, and this has been a trap. So now this is like the third or fourth trap that Spider-Man and the Human Torch are encountering here. And this time, Spider-Man and the Human Torch are going to be dodging these boulders as there's an invisible magnetic field around Spider-Man and the Human Torch. So now the Human Torch and Spider-Man are going to have to dodge these giant boulders. And so the Human Torch and Spider-Man are trapped within this glass cage, looks like. But Spider-Man tells the Human Torch to use his full force, just concentrated on one part of the glass here, while Spider-Man webs up the magnetic field switches, which allows these boulders to replicate and go against the magnetic force, allowing the glass to break. So that causes a big crash right here. So now Spider-Man and the Human Torch are finally defeated the Wizard and Mysterio here. They web them up, and the authorities come. And so now Mysterio and the Wizard will be going back to prison. And so that's how we end this 41-page epic story here from this annual, as Spider-Man and the Human Torch teamed up for the very first time. And so I hope you liked this cool looking story. And I will see you next time as we look at issue number, I believe, 53. We'll be looking at issue number 53 of The Amazing Spider-Man as Spider-Man goes up against Dr. Octopus, the return of Dr. Octopus. I hope to see you there. Until next time, keep reading comics.